Before we decode anything today, I want to begin with something important. Over the last few days, thousands of passengers across India face real difficulty. People miss weddings, medical appointments, job interviews, parents were stuck with children's, elderly travels waited for hours. If you were one of them, your frustration is valid and your experience deserves respect. Now you may be wondering why we are discussing an airline disruption on a technology and system show. The reason is simple. Modern aviation, one of the most technology driven system dependent industry in the world. Every flight depends on a software, data, timing, system, compliance rules, and thousands of coordinated decisions happening in real time. So when passengers experience disruption, it's important to understand whether technology failed or whether the system itself was under pressure. This episode is not here to minimize what passengers went through. It's here to explain clearly, factually, and without taking sides what really happened behind the Indigo disruptions, why it spread nationwide, how the system stabilized, and what every industry can learn from it. This podcast 101 Decode and Insight. I'm Farooq Khan. Let's decode. Chapter 1. The week India stopped. Early December, a normal travel week turned into one of the most unusual aviation events India has seen in years. Flights delayed, flights rescheduled, long queues at terminals, screen changing every few minutes. More than 2.6 lakh passengers nationwide were affected. Over 40,000 passengers in Mumbai alone. And a strange part, there was no fog, no storm, no technical outage, and no cyber incident. This was something very different. Chapter 2. The mystery no one could explain. Most people saw only the top layers, flight delayed, passengers struck, crowds everywhere. But almost no one asked the deeper question, how did a system that handles millions of passengers every week slow down so suddenly and then recover? To decode this, we need to understand one truth. An airline is not a collection of flights. It's a living, moving, interconnected network. The networks behave very differently under pressure. Chapter 3. The first wave. Why morning flights sets the entire day. Every major airline in the world operates on something called first wave. Let me explain what that means simply. These are the earliest morning flights. They are not special flights. They are not most important flights, but they set the schedule for the entire day. Here is why. The same aircraft flies multiple routes in one day. The same crew may operate more than one sector. The same gates, slots, ground teams are reused. So if the first flight of the day runs late and every connected flight adjusts, not because of something failed, but because aviation run on precise timings. Think of it like first train of the morning. If it leaves late, every train behind it shifts. When early morning schedules experience pressure, the effects travel quietly, hour by hour, across airports, across cities, and by midday, the passengers across India began to feel it. Chapter 4. The truth about technology. There were rumors that system failed, but the reported facts say something else. Check-in works, boarding passes were issued, apps updated, gate information followed. If the technology had failed, the entire nation aviation grid would have gone dark. But it didn't. What we saw was technology doing its job, updating rapidly as operational changes happen minute by minute. Chapter 5. A system under transition. India's aviation ecosystem was adapting to update rest and duty regulations, rules designed for safety, not convenience. Safety rules changing the timing structure of an airline, crew availability shifts, aircraft rotation adjusts, morning operations tighten. This transition takes time. And when the timing, crew, aircraft, and airports must sync perfectly, even a small mismatch spread fast. Chapter 6. The recovery, how the system came back to normal. This is the part that deserves recognition. When disruption happens at this scale, recovery doesn't come from one decision or one announcement. It comes from people process, discipline working together. Passengers showed patience even under difficult circumstances. Ground staff worked extended hours handling questions, rebooking, and uncertainty. Flight crew and operation teams followed safety rules strictly even when it meant tough calls. DGCA ensured compliance and safety remained non-negotiable while monitoring situation closely. And Indigo operations teams worked to stabilize early schedules, adjust rotations, reduce cascading delays, and restores predictability across the network. This return to normal did not happen overnight. It happened step by step with safety first, coordination, and responsibility. That's how mature system recover. Chapter 7, a lesson for every industry. This incident is not just about aviation. It is a lesson in how a large system behave under pressure. When pressure rises, technology doesn't fail first, operation do. A strong system recover layer by layer, decision by decision, rule by rule. The story that matters. For passengers, this disruption was painful. It caused stress, frustration, real inconvenience, and that cannot be ignored. But the deeper story, it's about how India's aviation system stayed safe, adjusted under pressure, and returned to stability. This decode is not about taking sides, it's about understanding the system so the next time we all travel through a smoother, stronger network. This is Podcast 101 Decodes and Insight. I'm Farooq Khan. Thank you